Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of Knowledge Worth Sharing Season 2. And today, our interview guest is Priscilla Barrios, who is the certified Shetty certified coach. So, Priscilla, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Yuvarajan.
Okay, so, for starters, Priscilla is my senior in JSCS. So, she has graduated earlier than me, and just like many other seniors, she has inspired me to become a life coach. So yeah, so Priscilla, thank you for being who you are, and thank you for inspiring me to become a life coach.
It's like an honor. Like I didn't even know about that. So
Yeah, thank you. So Priscilla, can you please tell to the audience a bit about yourself, briefly about yourself?
yeah, sure. As you mentioned, I graduated from the JSCS school, and I became a life coach, and I do have a practitioner on NLP as well, and I've been going through some switching around and playing with my coaching, and I love that playfulness on my side, that we all need to be open to experience everything. And I think, like, for most people that are out there, is to what they need to know about me and my coaching style is that I'm a free spirit, and I like going with the person whatever they need to go, and I'm just here to guide them through the process.
Wow, free spirit. I love the word, Priscilla. I love the word. So you're saying that from what you mentioned, it sounded that you are a free spirit and you want to guide your clients to achieve that stage as well. Am I right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So may I ask why being free spirited is important to you?
So I think the most important thing is that we are only able to really feel good about ourselves and what we do if we come from a place where we are being authentic and not holding ourselves back, thinking about what others are going to think or society is going to think or wants and expect from us. I'm not saying like go crazy and wild, but it's just like when you come from that place of being you, right, and being free to be you, is the best place ever. So you can make the best decisions and choose what is aligned with you and what your vision of what you want for your future. So that's why it's important.
Very true, very true. Because like in short, I can say like if you're not being authentically you, then you're not your true self. It's like you are maybe maybe the body is there, but you're living someone else's life. So I truly resonate with what you said just now, Priscilla. And next, I would like to ask about can you please explain to the audience how was your journey like in GSCS?
Okay, so I got into the school truly looking to find myself. I was going through a down moment. I was um, trying to get out of depression at that time, and I was trying to find myself back because I was lost in all of those layers of things that what I mentioned, like our families, our society, all of those layers that are imposed into us, right? And I was lost into all of that and all the roles I have to play in my life. And when I came into the school, I was honestly like, I had just this feeling like I want to do this for myself and figure it out, like, who am I? Who is Priscilla? Like, what do I like? That kind of stuff, getting contact with myself. And during the process of getting to know myself better, understand everything, like all the, the nitty details of how we go through life, like, and start making the right questions. And from that, taking the right decisions as well. I started to fall in love with coaching. And when that happened, that was like, oh yes, like this is for me. Like that was like, honestly, this is I'm gonna say this, first thing ever that I've done that was only for me, for myself, that had no one else expectations in like, oh, oh, you gotta graduate into, I don't know, engineer, architecture, be a doctor, all those kind of expectations that our parents have for us. And when I found coaching, I found myself and I found my passion. Like, this is something that is like, and I think that the school was one of the catalysts for it, right? Because it's so supportive, the school that Shetty put it together, that you know that. And everybody there, all of us, like, we're a community, and that give you a sense of belonging, right? And in a space like that where you can talk to someone and be honest and vulnerable to be your true self, is where you find liberation. So, that was the best decision that I ever made, getting to the school and becoming a coach.
Yes, Priscilla, thank you for sharing that. And when you mentioned the word depression, I can truly feel you, because like I also have my own bout of depression. Well, although not clinically approved, but yeah, I do have my depression, because after my first relationship failure, I did not, and I was the type of person that who do not take failure lightly. so, so immediately I fell into depression, and I can say it was the lowest point in my life. Because some people, they say, okay, depression just sadness, but no, that's not the case. Depression is the feeling of emptiness, feeling of black, the black feeling in your life. It's like when you wake up in the morning and you have nothing to look forward to for a day, right? So that
Mhm.
kind of feeling I experienced. And thankfully, like genius Jay Shetty helped me to come out of it. So that's why I'm lifelong grateful to Jay for everything he does to me. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I can truly resonate when you mention the word depression, and I also like the way that you say that JSCL is like a platform where you can be yourself. No one's judging you, and I also like the way that you mentioned that, okay, if you go to any other university, for example, like yeah, people will be pressuring you to get okay, be a doctor, be an engineer, but here, no pressure, no frills, no tension. You are doing something which you truly like, and you are thriving in it, and I truly love it. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So Priscilla, I want to ask, what is your coaching niche, and why do you choose that as your coaching niche?
Right. So I've been, like I mentioned, I've been experiencing a lot here and there. And I think I finally come to this decision that I want to work as a self-development coach, like, because I think at the bottom line, and it doesn't matter what niche you have, you're always going to be working on self-development if you're a coach. And you can be, a parenting coach, like I was trying, and, see how I would fit in that role, because I'm a parent myself. And one of the things for me, uh, that also brought me to the coaching journey and to the school, was because I wanted to be a better mom for my kids. So I thought about it, and I was playing with it and see how I would fit in that role, like trying to be a parent, as a parenting coach. But at the end of the day, it's self-development. It's like, if you don't work on yourself and on your mindset, it doesn't matter, right? Like, you can call yourself a high performance coach, you can call yourself whatever, you know. At the end of the day, you were working with their mindset. So I'm just gonna cut down to the chase, and I'm gonna go straight for it, because it's it's the core of who we are. And if we don't recognize that, nothing else is going to be what we want, and we're going to go through life having that feeling of something's not quite right. Like, I don't feel like I have, you can have all the money that you know your work can provide you, but you're going to still find that you're not feeling as much joy in life in general, like that sense of purpose inside you. So I want to help people go through that journey and find themselves in that place that, like I am, we are, you are, like we found our purpose, and that's the best place to work and live from. So
Thank you, Priscilla. So you mentioned that your coaching niche is about self-development. Well, initially that you want to become a parent coach, and honestly, Priscilla, I will definitely need a parent coach. Not now, but in the future, because like, I've yet to get married. I've yet to find my Miss Right Red. So yeah, I may need a parent coach, but not now, but in the future. But yeah, but eventually you bring it down to it's all fundamentally self-development, right? So
yeah.
everything is based on the self, the mindset, the how you bring yourself, how you come out of your darkest period of your life. So everything is depending on the self. So you just bring it down. Okay, self development. Okay, very well said. Very well said. So Priscilla, my next question will be on your podcast, and you
Hmm.
name your podcast "Unbecoming You."
Yeah.
When I look at the title for the first time, I was intrigued. Say, okay, "Unbecoming You," very interesting title. So, and then I've heard some episodes like you were being totally vulnerable, you were totally authentically you, and I truly resonate with some of the points that you mentioned in your several episodes. So,
Hmm.
can you please like explain to your audience what is your podcast about and why do you name it Unbecoming You?
All right. So my podcast, it's about you becoming yourself. And I'm wanted to use that unbecoming you. And that was so funny because I was struggling to find a name for the podcast for months. And all of a sudden I had this strike of like unbecoming you. I was like, yes, that's it. Because we we all come up to this world with an open mind as
Yes.
babies, right? As we are free spirits when we are babies, and
Mm-hmm.
we are absorbing everything that is around us.
Yeah.
And a quick way for people to understand what I mean is like if you grew up in a country where people speak English. You're going to grow up speaking English. You're not going to grow up speaking German or Portuguese or whatever another language that there is in this world.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You're going to grow up speaking English. But if you grow up in another country where they don't speak English, you're going to grow up with their language.
Yes.
So it's about that, like our environment, our cultures, our families, all of that build us and build on top of us. And we come learning and absorbing everything. We learn everything from the people that is around us. But
Mm-hmm.
that's not who we are. That's not our essence. So when we grow up and we try to, go with our lives and we find ourselves like there's something wrong here, like with that feeling there is something wrong, like I like those things, but every now and then you find yourself repeating a gesture that your dad did or your mom did, or a phrase that they used to say all the time when you're doing something wrong or something good, right? So all of those tiny teeny details, they build on you, and then they can prevent you from doing the things that you want to do. Let's say you want to become a doctor, but everybody in your family is a lawyer, right? So,
Yes.
and they, for some weird reason, they just want you to be a lawyer, and they would not accept you if you say that you're going to be a doctor. So you're going to have that inside battle of what you want and what they expect from you, what they want. And if you don't unlearn, that's why the become. If you don't unlearn to become what they taught you to be, you're not going to be able to be yourself, to go for the things that you want and stand up for the things that you believe and say, okay, mom, dad, I love you both, but this is who I am. This is what I want. And if you don't have that foundation built strong, you're not going to be able to do that. So you're going to go through life feeling like lacking confidence to do the things that you want to do, to say no to people, right? Because you have all of those things that, society people, that you absorb from them, and you don't even, the worst part is that we don't even know that happens. So like the majority of the programs, that things that we do, our habits, they were all learned unconsciously, and they run unconsciously. We're not aware. It's like breathing. We're not aware of it. We just breathe and we just leave. So if you don't unbecome all of those things that you're not going to be able to do all the things that you want to do. So that's why I named the podcast, and that's what what the podcast is all about. It's learning to unbecome all of the things that we are not, to be who we truly are.
Very well said, Priscilla. Very well said. When you mentioned the word unbecoming, like when you explain about the term, I remember a famous quote: "The biggest tragedy of learning in 21st century is not illiteracy, but it's not able to learn, unlearn, and relearn." And I truly agree with that, because like I believe that it should not anybody should not take what they learn, what they read as the face value. They should go back, reflect on it, and see whether what they have read, does the thing resonate on them, and then after that, like, modify it to um to to adjust to their own nature. And I also agree when you mentioned that it's like a tragedy in the world that some people who fail to fulfill their true purpose because they haven't acknowledged their true nature. Because I've been studying Vedanta. Vedanta is like knowledge of Vedas, and in that scriptures they mention the word Swadharma and Paradharma. Swadharma means true inherent nature. Paradharma means alien nature. So many people out there, they fail to acknowledge their Swadharma, their true inherent nature, and follow, as you mentioned, what the parents want them to be, what the society wants them to be, what the people around want them to be. So they go with the Paradharma, alien nature, which is alien to them. So that causes stress, depression, all these conflict in the world. And yeah, so I truly resonate with you with what you said, Priscilla, and
Yeah,
thank you.
no. And I think like there's like, because you mentioned your quote, I remembered about Pablo Picasso. He
Yes.
said that I'm not sure like what are the words, I'm not quoting him or whatever. It's just
Okay.
like I remember hearing about this, that I was watching his documentary, or I think, or something about him, that he said something that goes like this, like someone approached him on his art and asked him like, are we gonna charge that much for this thing? And he said, yeah, like I can draw you a car looking like your car, but
Mm-hmm.
it took me a life to get back to, draw like a kid. And
Mm.
it's like that, that thing that is unbecoming, because like you need to draw inside the lines, you
Yeah.
need to color inside the lines, you need
Yes.
to connect the dots and
Mm-hmm.
make the car shape or the star shape. And for you to be free again and just go outside those lines is so hard, right?
Yes.
Like
Yes.
if you're as an edit, just buy like, just, you don't need to buy anything, just draw a circle on a blank paper
Mm-hmm.
and grab a marker, a colored marker, and try to go out of the lines. You're
Yeah.
gonna see how hard it is. You're gonna be in
Mm.
conflict, like trying to stay inside the lines, right? And it's crazy. We are adults, like we should be
Yeah.
able to do whatever we want, right?
Correct.
We're talking
Yeah.
about coloring a circle on a blank
Mm.
paper,
Yeah.
and we're gonna still find ourselves trying to fit in.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah. And just to take your analogy further, I mean, like you just like you mentioned about paper and a marker pen. I think many people out there, they have this they have a closed mindset, because you mentioned mindset earlier. They have a closed mentality. I mean, a way of saying it is like, for example, if I take a white paper and put a full stop, a small dot on the paper,
Mhm.
and if I show to common people, they say, if I ask them, what do you see? They will say, I can see a small dot on the paper. I say good. Your vision is good. It's good. But do you notice that there's a big, vast, wide area around it? Don't you see that? So so from there we can see is that many people out there, they have a closed mindset. They just thinking on one particular thing and do not want to open up to other possibilities in life. So what you
Yeah,
mentioned,
yeah. I
it's
think
true.
like if I can just expand a little bit more, I don't think that I like to think. It's not that I don't think. I like to think of what you mentioned about people having a set mindset, you
Mm-hmm.
know, as they have been conditioned to
Yes.
that.
Mm-hmm.
So they believe it so hard, like so like to their core of their being, that what they know
Mm-hmm.
it's the right thing,
Yeah.
that belief, that faith that they have is so big that don't allow them to see what's around them,
Yeah.
like the dot, right? Don't allow them to see all the white space around the
Yeah.
dot.
Mm-hmm.
But it's that unconscious programming that we all go through this through life. Like
Mm-hmm.
as soon as you're born, you're starting to be programmed. And when you reach a certain point in life, depending on where you are on your journey here, you're gonna start questioning those things that have been dictating your life
Yeah.
and everything. So you might get to that point or not. It's not everybody that is gonna start questioning, their lives, but if you do get to that point, that's where the freedom is,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah. And it goes back to what you mentioned just now. It's like it goes back to what you mentioned just now. It's like to question everything. So not to take everything in the at face value. Whatever you have learned, whatever you contact with, whether you hear, you smell, or you hear something, don't take it at face value. Question it. Is it true? Is it valid with my true nature? If it's not, you have the choice to either to disregard it or to accept it as who you are. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Priscilla, my next question will be on you mentioned a lot about people finding their true purpose, true nature. So for people out there who are yet to find their true nature and having some tough time discovering true nature, what is the first step that these people can do?
So, like, if you are searching for it, you already took the first step because you got conscious of what is going on in your life. And that consciousness, that moment that made you question things, is the first step. Like, it's questioning what's going on, right? So it's getting that awareness as the first step. So since you're in that step already and you're starting to look for purpose, if I can tell you one thing that is going to make your life easier, is just don't be hard on yourself through this journey of finding who you are or your purpose, because you are, here's the thing, you're not defined for anything that have ever happened in your life. You're not none of those things. You can call yourself, I can call myself Priscilla. That's my name here, but I'm not Priscilla, right? So I'm not my mind. I am the one who is observing my mind, all of my thoughts. So if I want to just say one thing that is going to make everybody's life easier on this journey of unbecoming you, right? And learning all those things, is this: just ask yourself a lot of questions and define what are your core values. What is it that is true to you? Like family, love, joy, happiness. But what about happiness? What kind of happiness? Define that. And once you know what your 5 top, core values are, just live by them. And in every moment that something happens, just ask yourself, go back to that. Is this aligned with who I am and who I want to keep, on this journey being? Because you can change yourself whenever you want, how many times you want, even though you sometimes we might not feel like it, because we are constantly seeking for permission and approval as humans, right? We are always looking for that sense of belonging. So we are always going to be searching for some sort of reassurance that we are on the right path. But if you can use those core values as your compass, that's going to help you, and that's going to go, the long way.
Yes, Priscilla, like when you mentioned among the line that finding your core values, I remember a particular activity which I read from the book The Buddha and the Badass. Have you read the book The Buddha and the Badass by Michelle Lakiani?
Not yet.
Yeah.
I have it on my list.
Okay. Yeah. Because I just purchased the book and it's on the first chapter itself. There's an activity called dream setting activity, where like you list down all the event the highlight event of your life, and you take out one value what you have learned from the events in your life, and from there you jumble up into a cluster of values, and eventually you will get a group of a few core values. So for me, to cut it short, I did the exercise, and my service and my core values was these four things, which is service, education, thrive, and self-fulfillment. And when I thought about it, I can feel I truly resonate with you, because like for me, I believe that I was born in this world to engage in acts of service, to help people in need, and to help them to be where they are. And through coaching, I managed to achieve that. And also education, because um as a because I'm having a teacher because I'm teaching at school. So my day job is teaching. I'm teaching kids from the age 7 to 12 years old, and I'm teaching them not just what in the syllabus, but teaching them how to think, how to how to assess the emotion. Because I believe that not just in Malaysia, I think I can see many countries around the world, the education syllabus, they haven't uh, include in your syllabus how to um, mental health, emotions, how to deal with negative emotion, how to deal with it. So I think they have to tweak the education syllabus a bit there. So yeah, and thrive, because being a minority in here in Malaysia, like we are exposed to discrimination on daily basis. So now you understand why I choose discrimination as my coaching niche. And also
Mhm.
self-fulfillment, because I believe everyone has the opportunity to be who they want to be, provided that they must do the work. So I
Mhm.
believe to these four are my core values: service, education, thrive, and self-fulfillment. Now the reason why I'm pointing on top, because I have it in my vision board over here, so I'm looking on top.
That's awesome. Yeah, I had mine on my wall over there, but my son took it out. I gotta put it back again.
So, okay, Priscilla. Next, I want to ask a bit more personal question. So, you mentioned
Mhm.
just now that you are a parent, you are a mother, and also you are a life coach. So, how do you balance these two, being a mother and being a life coach? Because these two are quite tedious, right? So, how do you find the perfect balance between these two?
Yes, no, that's a great question. And that was something that I kind of struggled a little bit in the beginning of finding that like middle ground. And I remember um once like my second son was born, I was feeling that, oh my goodness, how I'm gonna do this. Like I don't want to choose. I don't want to choose between coaching and my kids. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be in that place. And I think for all of us that find our purpose and are living it, it and if they have kids, it's that thought goes through their mind. Like, how do I do this? Because I can't choose. Like both of them are part of me. So I had like this really hard moment of thinking about it. Like I was suffering because in my mind I had this, I'm gonna have to choose. And parts of me, like straight answer, like I will always choose my kids, right? I'm a mom, I always choose them. But part of me was like, if I get to that point that I have to choose, part of me might die, because like coaching is like so strong inside me that it would be like so hard like that for me to just let that go. So I had my moments where I was like, I'm gonna say like I'm 80, like 0 or 100 kind of person. And I just either do it or don't. And I was like, okay. So I was struggling in the beginning finding that balance, because I was just diving into coaching since I found it, and it was like bringing me so much purpose and joy. And I was just like, I want to do this, like, and I was diving like right into it. And then after a while, I started feeling that feeling of, oh my goodness, like I want to be with my kids, but I'm thinking about coaching. So I had all of that confusion and that stress going on inside my body. And that was like literally this battle inside me of like, oh, I want to be here, but I'm thinking about this, and then my kids, they would try to get my attention, and I would get upset and stressed about things because, oh, I gotta work. No, just wait like 5 minutes. Let me finish this. And like at the same time trying to be as mindful as I could in that process of being respectful and loving and caring. But that was so hard in the beginning. Then I took a break. I was in this stress point that I was like, okay, I gotta take a break. I'm gonna take a break from coaching and just figure this thing out. And when I took the break was the moment that I realized everything.
Mhm.
Like, I'm not saying that I know the key to life work balance, but I think I
Mhm.
found it for myself at least.
Mhm.
So, and anyone that is listening to this, if you can find this place, it's awesome. So, this is what I did. So, I was having a really hard time because I wanted to be with my kids, but I also wanted to work.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say I have the privilege of not having to work to feed my
Mhm.
family, right?
Mhm.
My husband is the main provider, so like I don't need to worry about those things. So even though I love coaching and I do it like 100%, I don't need to do it, or there are some people work in order to put food on the table. So it's a little bit harder to get into this point where you can sit with yourself and say, okay, I'm gonna allow myself to just be here in this moment.
Yeah.
And I think that's the key. And I'm gonna be kind of bold in saying that this is the key for life work balance.
Mhm.
Be in the present moment. It doesn't matter if you're working, you're working. So have your mind there. And if you're with your kids or with your friends or on vacation or whatever that is not working, be there, be present and enjoy it. And don't think about work. Because if you don't think about work when you're doing the things that you want to do or enjoying all the other things, even if there are other chores that you need to do, if you're not thinking about all the other things that you should be doing or that you want to do, you're going to find yourself in a space where you're peaceful with what you're doing because you're present there. And like I said, I think like this is the key for any sort of life for balancing relationship or whatever it is. Be present, because that's the happiness and peacefulness is there in the present, and it's only there, not in the future, not in the past. It's in the present moment. So if you can give yourself that space to be there, you're going to find yourself having a way better life, balance, work, because it's all in the mind. As funny and as weird as this can sound to anyone out there that is listening, that is not into coaching or mindset or working through those things, it's all in our minds. We are the ones that are creating the meaning of what is happening. So we're here, the two of us, right? And I have one meaning about what is going on right now.
Yeah.
And you have another meaning about
Yeah.
what is going on right now. And
Absolutely.
it's the same thing. We're
Yeah.
here in the present, and it's the
Mhm.
same event, and
Yeah.
we're together. But what I'm thinking about this is different of what you're thinking about this. So
Mhm.
it's all in the mind.
Yeah.
So if you're working and thinking about all the other things that you're going to do, you're not going to find yourself having the focus and energy to do the work that you need to do. And if
Yes.
you're, in a vacation or enjoying your weekend or trying to, enjoy your meal at the end of the day, just
Mhm.
sitting there like with your families or with your loved one, or, just for yourself having a good time, you're not going to have it because
Yeah.
you're thinking about other things. You're not enjoying your coffee or, your whatever.
Mhm.
So it's all in the mind. It's all about the stories that we're telling yourselves
Yeah.
right here, right now.
Yeah. Yep. Very well said, Priscilla. And I can see in just two short quote, press pause and be in the moment. I truly agree with what you said, because in this bustling world nowadays, we are I mean, like, we are chasing, we are constantly we are constantly like a chasing tiger. We are chasing something, and sometimes and often we fail to find the time to press pause, sit back, reflect back what you have achieved. So we just on constantly on the prowl, on chasing something, right? And when you're talking, when you're mentioning this now about that, I remember a quote by Swami Ramatirtha, and that particular quote boggles me to this very day, and I named my first episode based on that. The first episode of Knowledge Worth Sharing. The quote is intense work is rest. I was like, huh? Intense work, rest. You gotta be kidding me. It's like doesn't make sense. Intense work is rest. So when I thought about it and I come to a understanding that, okay, when you are doing a work, firstly you must have a positive attitude towards your work. You have to enjoy your work. Work is not something burdensome. It's important for you. It could be, the reason could be very, like, maybe you need to pay for it, or it's your purpose or what, but you need to enjoy work. Have a positive attitude towards work. So once you have that, work will be like play. Work will be fun. So once people achieve that, once a person achieve that kind of state, they won't be anymore or TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. I'm looking over for the weekend. Oh, I Monday blues. Oh, Monday sucks. All that. So I think must have a positive attitude towards work. Yeah. So yeah, very true.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And that's something that I was talking about this. It's funny that you mentioned like a few weeks ago on my Instagram. Like, and I believe it was on a Wednesday or Thursday maybe. And I was thinking, oh, yes, tomorrow is Friday. Yeah, but whatever, today's Thursday and I'm gonna have a good time, and we need to allow ourselves. I think like the thing is that we don't allow ourselves to enjoy the moment, the day that we are having. It's like what you mentioned, it's like we're on this chase,
Yeah.
right? So you're chasing the weekend,
Mm,
but what if you have fun right now?
correct.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah. Yeah, and okay, there's another quote which I want to say. I mean, I'm seeing too many quotes in this episode. It's from a animation Kung Fu Panda by Master Uguay. The
I love
famous
that.
quote, the famous quote, he said, "The past is already past. Future is yet to be known. But present, I think goes in line like this. But today is a gift. That's why I call it present."
Yes.
Very, very beautifully said and very true. And I think like going back to what you said just now, like people should just, just stop, press pause, look back what they've achieved, and like analyze where have gone, have they gone wrong, where have they gone right, and proceed with that knowledge. Yeah. I
Yeah.
truly agree with that.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. I think like even like I mean for me at least, like before having this realization of, and this is one of the things that I noticed too. Before I found finding myself in this moment of realization of what, yes, like being the present and being present is, the key to, have that happiness that we all are looking for, that joy, that, the peacefulness and all of those. Oh, I gotta, I'm working because I'm gonna have more money. So I'm gonna have this and I'm gonna have this and then I'm gonna be happy. Right. But, you can be happy right here, right now. But um, I think like it's just that thing that we hear a lot of people saying the same thing in different ways. And sometimes it's just about having that person that speak the right language for you, that you need in the right, like they have the exactly words that you needed to hear that same thing, that same quote or whatever it is, but they did it the way that you needed to hear. And when you do hear that, when you find that moment, is when it clicks, right? And it's like, oh, I know this. Yes, of course, we all know, you know, but it's having that moment where it's like, ooh, okay, now I know this. It's not just like, oh, I know this. No, it's like, oh yeah, now I know. I feel it on my being. Like I know I'm experiencing this. It's not just like something that I read or that I heard someone saying. It's like I experienced this. So now I know, right? So
Yeah, at the time of recording, like I'm not sure whether have you heard of this, but it's about a very famous contestant from AGT, American Got Talent, Nightbird. Her quote like she was a front runner, and then like she had to like drop all the way because like, she having cancer, and she just passed away like a few days ago. But her now right now her audition are going viral right now, and in that audition she mentioned you don't have to wait you don't have to wait until life isn't hard to be happy. And I mean it's 100% true, because like you can be chasing your life goal, and you can be happy in the journey. So
yeah,
you don't because you mentioned it's now like, okay, when I get this I'll be happy, when I get it I'll be happy. No, that's not the case. You choose your happy, you choose when to be happy, you choose your happy place.
yes. And I think that the thing with the chase is that it's not just like it's an illusion. I'm gonna put it like this: the chase is an illusion, and that is not an illusion that is like, oh, there's nothing out there for you that is not gonna bring you happiness and joy and whatever. Because yes, we all want more money, and we know that we live in a society where money will bring things for you. It will do things for you, so it will bring you happiness, right? Achieving all of your goals and having all the things that you want. But the thing is that the illusion about it, the chasing, it's not the chasing, it's the end goal is the chasing itself. And I say this because when we are saying, oh, when I have this I'm gonna be happy, when I find the right guy I'm gonna get married, when I do this I'm gonna do that, or whatever, it's just because we are trying to blind ourselves or keep ourselves blind from the reality that we have right now, and we are not accepting and we are choosing not to work on it. So we are choosing not to put the effort on changing whatever it is that is happening right now that we don't like. And because we don't want to accept that part of us that is saying, oh, I'm just gonna, lay back here comfortably, and it's like what, since we're on the quote journey today, I'm gonna quote Jay Shetty, like the devil that I know is better than the devil that I don't know. I heard him saying that. So it's that thing. So we all sit with the devil that we do know, and we get ourselves into that illusion that, okay, when I get there, I'm gonna be happy. No, it's just like you don't want to work with the devil that you have right now. That's
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah. And along that lines, Priscilla, when you mentioned that along that lines, I remember there's one particular coaching tool that we learned in JSS. It's the Johari Window, right?
Mhm.
So the first part is like, I know what I know. I know what I don't know. Um, then the third one is like, my others know what I know, and another one, others know which I don't know. So
Mhm.
it's this like that, especially the fourth one, quite interesting. Others know which I don't know. So you do not know the things that you do not know, right? So yeah, so it's quite interesting to see all this.
Yeah. Yes, yes. No, and it's just that, like, I think like the illusion part is this. It's just like we don't want to work on ourselves, and sometimes we're not ready to do that. I wasn't ready before I found coaching, and that's okay, that's normal, but that's still an illusion. Even though it's okay, it's an illusion. So it's like if you're not working on the things that you don't like, you're just, deluding yourself, thinking that someday, somehow, something's gonna happen that is gonna make you happy. Nope, not happening. You are the only person that can make yourself happy, and that can
Yeah,
help yourself too.
very true. The last sentence you mentioned, you have to be your own version of happy. Other people can't make you happy. You have to be your own version of happy. That's very true. Yeah. Okay, Priscilla, like wow, I mean time flies. I mean, like we've been just talking now, it's already 50 minutes. Wow. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Okay, next question is okay. What if Priscilla be if you don't become a life coach?
What I would be if I did not become a life coach. Ooh, I don't know. I could be a lot of things. I would probably just keep doing parts of what I'm doing right now and what I'm still doing. Just keep experimenting life, like,
Mhm.
trying things. And, you know, I like trying things, like learning new things. I'm I'm gonna I'm saying this is like with so lightness right now, but before it would be like a huge struggle for me, because up until, I don't know, maybe, and this is like super new for me, 6 months ago or so I'm 36. So up until, 6 months ago, I would be always struggling with being okay with me trying to, experiment on new things. Like, oh, this right now I want to learn about feng shui. Then right now I want to learn about coaching.
Mhm.
Then I just change, and then I'll decide that I want to know, I don't know. Because prior to being a coach, I was a professional photographer.
Oh, okay, I
But
see. Mm.
yeah, and before that, I was doing architecture in college.
Okay.
So before that, I was doing bachelor's in physics.
Wow.
So I
Mm.
just keep exploring, and I would just keep exploring if I haven't found coaching. And even that, with the fact that I found coaching, I'm still exploring,
Yeah.
all the areas of how I can work things, how I can, work on new tools and creating new stuff. So I,
Mhm.
I would be, just living life and experiencing whatever it is that is here for me, because one day we all are gonna die. And
Yeah.
sometimes I do get sad about that.
Mm-hmm.
That this life experience, like I'm attached to this body right now. I'm
Mm-hmm.
living a human experience, but
Yeah.
I know that I'm more than that. But even though I'm still attached to this body, sometimes like because of that, I do get sad that one day the life as I know will end in a way, right? So what's the purpose of life for me?
Yeah.
Just live it, you know, do
Yeah.
whatever you want. But before I would, like I mentioned, I would be, thinking about, oh, if I do this right now, what people are gonna say? What is it they're gonna say about
Mm-hmm.
me?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
will they say it again? Oh, here she goes again. She's
Mm.
gonna try a new thing. Like, is she ever gonna settle? It's like, yeah, I don't know. If it like even though coaching is my thing and I love
Mhm.
it, like one day I might change my mind and I'm okay
Yeah.
with that. But
Yeah.
and there is this quote. Come on.
Mhm.
There is this poem. I don't know the poem. It's from a guy from Brazil. I'm from
Mhm.
Brazil, so
Okay.
and he in his poem he mentioned this part that he says that one of the most interesting people that he knew was
Mhm.
someone that never settled for just one thing.
Mhm.
They were still like kids playing
Mhm.
around and doing things as they like and experiencing life. And
Yeah.
one day he was doing this, and then another
Mhm.
day he was working with other stuff.
Mhm.
And I love that because it's I don't know, it's my essence. It's like what I mentioned, like I'm a free spirit, so I just
Mhm.
love it. I would be that, like a free spirit, like
Free spirit.
going through life and living it, trying to live it to the fullest.
Yeah. Very true. I mean, like, I think the very important thing about each life is like to live it fully, and there's one of the 7 steps of highly effective people by Stephen Covey. I think number 2 is not second. It's about beginning with the end in mind. So it's like the way that the author prescribed it is like, okay, imagine that it's on your funeral. People will be attending your funeral, and the most important person in your life giving you an eulogy, or like a speech for you. So what do you want to be in the eulogy is how you should um, act or do, achieve, so that you can have a good eulogy at the end at your funeral. And I truly agree with that, because yeah, I think like at the end of the day, like at the end of life, like we want to see whether do we live it fully, have we achieved what you're born on this world for, the purpose of our very birth on earth. That's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now we come to the final part of the interview. It's a quick question. So you can
Hmm.
answer one word, or you can answer more than one word. Okay.
Okay.
So all right, here we go. The first question: what is the latest book you have read?
The latest book I read, what is that Raising Good Humans.
Raising Good Humans. Okay. The
Yeah.
author. The author is.
I don't know. I gotta check.
Okay.
I don't know. Like I have a huge problem with names.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm, I shouldn't be
Okay.
saying that because I'm an NLP practitioner and I know this, but I just have this hard time, and maybe I just don't want to, but I have a hard time remembering names.
Yeah.
But that's the name of the book. I'm looking at it, Raising Good Humans.
Raising Good Human. Okay, thank you. For me, it's the latest Robin Sharma book, which is Everyday Heroes Manifesto. It's quite nice. I'm still reading on it. Okay, the next question is what if you have only one word to describe yourself, what word will that be? Just one word.
Passionate.
Passionate. Love it. Wonderful. Okay, number three, the next question will be okay, what's the type of client that you serve, and what's the type of client that you don't serve for your coaching?
Oh, uh, what type of? In a one
You're
word?
perfect. Yeah, I don't know. It's not one word. You can speak more than one
Okay.
word. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so um basically anyone, I would say that.
Mhm.
But like with that said, there is this but you gotta really truly want to put yourself to do the work, because if you don't, I'm not your
Mm.
coach.
Yes, very true.
I'm
Work,
not gonna
work.
BS around.
Yeah, very true. Okay, and the last question, Sila, if you could turn back time, like you have a time machine and go back to your younger self, what will be a piece of advice that you'll give to your younger self?
One piece of advice that I would give to my younger self. Oh, good. This is funny because I always like it, like we have a podcast, so I always ask that kind of question to at the end, but I never had to answer that. So it's like, we're not. um, one piece of the advice that I would give to myself. This is so hard.
Yeah,
Um,
because you have to reflect on your past. If it's like a reflection question, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
and I guess what I would say to my younger self is, you know what? Forget about what they're saying. Don't care, like care, but don't care about it. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah.
care to the point where you listen, take what it is in there for you, and then
Mm-hmm.
just leave the rest out,
Mm-hmm.
and just keep being you.
Okay. Very, very well said. And I think that's the way we end our podcast on a very good note. So, Priscilla, thank you so much for being a guest on the interview. And let's say for your future podcast, if you want to have a guest, I'm willing to be a guest. So, I mean, if you
Yeah,
want, yeah, yeah. So,
yeah.
thank
No,
you.
I would love that.
Okay. So Priscilla, thank you so much for your time and yeah and I wish you all the best for your future for your future in coaching and may many more out there will benefit from your coaching. And yeah, before I forget, before we end the podcast for today, can you please share to the audience how the audience can connect to you, like get to know about more about you?
Yeah, you can go to my website is priscillabarrios.com. So PriscillaBarrios.com, or to my Instagram, which is Priscilla, then the letter R, and then Barrios.
Okay, audience, in case if you missed that, I will include the details in the podcast description so you can just check it out there. So, Priscilla, once again, thank you so much for coming to my podcast. And I hope it's not the end and it's a beginning for many more conversation to come. So, thank you so much.
But yeah, no, thank you, Rajan, for inviting me. It was a pleasure.
Okay, bye everyone. Take care.